Good morning or evening, everybody. Welcome to another Incubator Weekly. Today we've got Mikhail with us today to give us an update, last update for 2024. How's it going, Mikhail?
Hey guys, it's going good. We have really a lot of updates on the Platform Explorer and other projects. So I'd like to share with you, and give updates on our work.
Yeah, we had an eventful month last month for the Treasury fundings. I think you had 3 proposals that passed, all of them. So congratulations on that. And I think we'll be talking a little bit about the Platform Explorer. That's your main project, but you also have a general pshenmic.dev website that you have people that can log into now using Dash credentials. So we'll talk about that. We'll cover Electrum a little bit. That proposal actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think did not pass. So I'd like to get your updates on what you plan to do going forward with that, how you interpret that vote. So yeah, I'll just leave it to you at this point. I've got your screen share. So are you ready to go over that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So the most noticeable update, I think, it's the Christmas theme. Everybody likes it.
Yeah.
We added the snowflakes and also the hats on the identity, but it's not only the Christmas theme. We have already implemented the identities on the front-end page. We reworked the page really well, so it now shows a lot of interesting info. So we can see the identity, it's a picture. We can see the total top-ups, total withdrawals, the gas, which account spent on some on the transactions. We can even see the public keys that are attached to the given identity, and there is even it even shows you some bindings, some internal access control of the identity public keys. Well, I don't know where to find it right now, but there is additionally a box where it shows you for which data contracts and which data contracts and document types can be used with this given identity public key.
Okay, so just a little bit of a backing up a little bit. What we're looking at right here, if you could scroll to the top, this is an identity. This is the identity page. So we're on a specific identity. What specific identity is this?
I don't know.
Okay, just a random one. Okay.
Yeah, but I can show you the identity of our front-ender. 1 second. Here we go.
So I see also in the top navigation, you've got a little what we call a breadcrumb feature. So
yeah. So it will be either
identities and to a specific identities, you can go back and forth.
Yeah. So it will be easier for people to navigate on the website, especially on some deep, nesting where, for example, the contested resources where we have data contract. The data contract has documents. Some documents have contested states. So so this is the identity of our front-ender, Alexei.dash. It's in the testnet. All of the changes are right now in the testnet, but I'm going to roll out on the mainnet this night because it requires reindexing.
Okay, so this is coming. We're looking at testnet right now, but very soon, after 24 hours from now, everybody should be able to see this page on.
So what we have here is we can see all of the transactions we have. We can see the data contract that identity owns. We can see which documents was submitted by the given identity, and its credit transfers. And first, credit transfers starts with identity crate, which is very useful because we can see literally like the balance where it's coming. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You can see the whole history. And so these would be data contracts and documents that the identity owns, not just has participated in, right? Like if I have an identity that has submitted, well, I guess would there be anything where there's an interaction that you don't own that would not show up on this page? Like if you commented on some board or something, you would own that as well, though, would you not?
Like the document.
Yeah, if you make a document on somebody else's contract that they own, would that show up here?
Yeah, it will show. It will show. It show every document that this identity owns. So as long as he owns this document, it will be shown here.
Okay, so pretty much all activity that you have done, you should be able to get to from this page.
Exactly, exactly. It's actually the most viewed page on the Platform Explorer. I checked recently. So the most active pages are home and identity pages, identities, the list of the identities and the specific identity.
Okay, cool.
People. I thought it would be the validators, but yeah, that surprised me.
Interesting.
Yeah. So another yet big feature that we was able to submit is the transactions details page, which now has a lot of info. It's very
Can you
useful.
zoom in a little bit?
So yeah, so it shows almost everything right now. It still misses some specific details in the document transition actions, but it's already a lot of info. Like there are a lot of info very useful for developers, like raw transaction, signatures. Yeah, so if somebody would working on the SDK, I think that will be very useful for them. On the transitions, we can see the data which was posted by the given identity. We can see its identifier, the data contract identifier. Yeah, there are some. So it's and it's implemented for every state transition, but it's currently missing some few very interesting details like contested resource info, like refunding voting balance, or maybe it's already implemented. I don't remember. No, I think it's not. Something about voting. So we will add it very, very shortly. So it's basically dependent on the SDKs. So there are some data not available in SDK, so I have to make a pull request to the platform. Actually, we're using our own branch, but anyway, it involves working on SDK, on JS SDK as well. Okay. Visits on the Platform Explorer. Yeah, so there was a lot of internal work on some details on the identity and transaction details page. So, for example, the identities names, we can now see which one is owned, which one was blocked, for example. Let's see Google. It will not show me, I think. Yeah. So because it was locked. I want to see someone. I think I've seen someone. It's data contracts. Yeah. So we can see some locked names, and even if you just acquired, just registered the contested name, you will see it's yellowed, and it will show a circle, like it will show like it is pending.
Okay.
So now
So
no
everything
confusion.
in gray is owned, and
Mhm,
you actually successfully acquired that username.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Um, Probably we should have colored it as green. By the way, I just thought about that. But yeah, so now no confusions on when you bind your identity name. Now you can clearly see the whole ongoing process, and yeah, and that's very, very good. Yeah, so what we're going to do next on the front end, we will jump on the data contracts on the blocks, and we are going to implement contested resources, which should show every info about contested resources, just like we have on dash.vault. Yeah, we already have designs, but let me start from other pages first, like the blog, the data contract, to show you what it's going to be look like. Yeah. So yeah, our page is looking similarly. And that's good. Yes, we have a big some kind of boxes, and yeah, there are a lot of info. Um, we have identifier of our data contract, who owns it, what the revision is it, when it was created. We can see the total transactions related to the given data contract. We can see all of the documents related to the given contract. The top identity, which is was interacting with this data contract the most, the most active identity who was interacting with this data contract. Um,
Is this data
and we
contract that we're looking at? Is this the DCG DPNS or
I don't
system?
think no, I don't think so. Everything on design is mocked, so it's just
Oh,
the
okay.
random
All right.
identifiers.
We're
Yeah.
yep.
So, and the total gas spent and average gas spent during transactions on this data contract. We can also see all of the transactions that was happening on this data contract. And I can see the documents that was posted in it. If document have different document types in the schema, you can also see the different, yeah, different document types. Later, all of the lists will receive a filter tooltip, so it will be also possible to filter data like by owner ID, by transaction hash, identifier, whatever, like gas fees. If we want to see um, which, like the most expensive transactions happening on this data contract and stuff like that.
Okay. I
Yeah.
have a question from the last. If you could go back to the testnet platform
Mm-hmm.
explorer again, is there a view where you can see all of the registered platform usernames and aliases all in one list? Like you see the
No,
identity
no, not yet.
names there.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not yet. Yeah, we also not showing documents right now. Mm, we can think about that. Yeah, it was in my head a couple times. So
Okay, yeah, because
we
it would
haven't.
be interesting to be able to go to one page where it had, obviously at some point it would have to be a paginated page, but the one of the nicest features of a browser is Control F. If you could just go to that page and kind of look through and see what kind of usernames are being registered all in one page, I think that would be a nice
Mhm.
feature at some point. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I
okay,
agree.
cool. Now, as I'm looking at the list there, the API, do you know of anybody who's using the API? Because I am curious to see.
Not yet, not yet. But I think it's very useful. Will be later um, for showing people the data on the decentralized applications until they logged in. Because in order for you to query documents and verify them with the proofs, right? You need to synchronize your wallet. You need to download all of the LNQ headers, or I don't know, the quorums. So if you are not logged in, so you should be still be able to view the data on your decentralized app. So I think it will will be useful as a backing point, as a fallback API for sure making this in that case. Like for example, on our DFO website, I think we will be using that later.
Okay, great. All right, so we looked at the platform explorer. I'm trying to think if I have any questions about this. This has always been a very useful site. So it's been a while since I've used it, honestly, because I've been waiting to see how things shake out with how things were going to shake out with the SDK development, things like that, before I really got too far into developing again on Dash platform. But yeah, do you have anything else to say on using the platformexplorer.com site, or should we move on to the next thing that you had on your list?
Yeah, I have some couple screens that I want to show you as well. It's about the specific block and the contested resources. So,
So give us an example of a contested resource. I think there's one primary one, but
yeah, we will go to it. Like, let me just show you first this one. Yeah, we also need to rework the block details page, so it will show you the transactions that was included in the block. And the very cool thing that we can actually see information about the quorum. So we can see the quorum hash, we can see the up hash. Up hash is like the hash of the state of the GrowDB of the drive, which changes each block. So we can see the protocol version of the block, its block version, which I believe is the tether dash block version. Yeah, and what is the epoch? What is the quorum index, which was used when the the block was finalized? Yeah, the total fees, the validator who picked up this block produced. I mean, yeah. So, and the cool thing about the quorum index, about the quorum, yeah. So we can see where where on the core explorer this block was accepted. Like its quorum index, we should be able to see which next quorum will be happening and stuff like that, which is total valid members, if there are any failures. So I think it will be very useful in case some potential chain stalls, even for like for platform team who debugging all of the situations in the hierarchy. So yeah, this is one of the pages that we are going to rework.
yeah, I was just going to ask: is this one of the pages that will be on mainnet in a day, or is this something that isn't even on testnet yet?
It's not in the testnet yet. Yeah, it's the pages that we are going to work soon in the January.
Okay.
So it's the block page, and it is specific document page, I believe. Yeah. The same thing about the document. So we detailized it as we could. We included also the prefunding voting balance. So if the document was was contested resource, submitted as contested resource, so we can see how much credits was locked. And yeah, this is the transactions of these documents. So the document can be replaced, can be deleted, can be transferred. So it's just the history of this document.
Okay.
Yeah, and the most interesting one, I think, for all of you guys, it's the contested resources.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So an
So
example of this would be the dash pay usernames.
yeah, the DashPay usernames, identity names, DPNS names, or how it's called. So yeah, this page will show all of the active contested resources happening right now in the network. So we can see all of them. We can see the resource value. This page was designed not specifically for identity names, but it works for all of the data contracts that could be potentially built on the platform chain. So, like the resource value, we can decode it for DPNS contracts, but for some other data contracts, it will show the raw value, like in base 64. Yeah, we
Can
can
you zoom in
see.
just a little bit on that again? A little bit
Yeah.
more.
So DPNS data contracts have some predefined schema of the index values on index name that we are just locking our credits on. So there is like specific format which describes which domain name this identity acquiring and which parent domain name is being used. So there are like three parameters, like the type, the domain name, the parent domain name, or I don't remember exactly. So anyway, we can only decode it for the DPNS data contract right now, but it's only the DPNS data contract in mainnet right now, uh, which uses the contested resource feature. In the testnet, there are three.
Okay. And
Yeah.
do you have an estimate on when people can expect this page to be live, either on testnet or mainnet?
I don't know. It depends on the development, on the SDKs, because
Okay, but
I
this
guess,
one's
yeah,
still in active development then.
yeah. It's like, I mean, itself, the protocol, like the contested resource, is implemented, but yeah, it's on for the developers of the decentralized applications to implement it.
Okay.
So
Now I
yeah.
know that there have been a lot of questions and there's been some confusion about usernames. You know, you see the usernames that are presented as when you register a username. If I register Ryan, RION, I'm also going to get R10N, for example. And the page that the MNO watch page and some other pages as well, they default to showing like I would consider the more non-intuitive one, like not the one that they are asking for that has that is
Not
more
normalized,
letters and
normalized name.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people are trying to get the one that has letters and not numbers, but it seems like most of the interfaces are showing the ones that are normalized down to numbers. Is there any reason that you would not show the one, like the default page, that has letters instead? Or can you talk about that?
Well, yeah, I agree with you that people should see the resource value, like what they are trying to pick up. So yeah, we will think how we will be going to implement it. So we can
Okay.
show it normalized, but resource value I think is already normalized. So we should do that in reverse, like convert the normalized into into the default one.
Yeah, and I can't really see if you could zoom in a little bit more. I'm not sure which one is the resource value. Okay, so this looks like these are defaulting to
It's just a
letters.
mock. It's just a mock. Yeah, it's just a mock. But when we will go into it, we will have better understanding how it's going to implement. Because as I remember, the resource value is already a normalized domain name, so it's something like that.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know what the specific terminology is referring to.
yeah, but
the one that defaults, the one that shows letters, I think is the better one to show by default. Maybe on you
yeah, I
hover
agree.
over it, you can show that you're
Yeah.
getting the numbers also. But yeah, it's just an interesting design decision to make those numbers instead. Anyway, moving on. What do you have
Um,
next for us?
so yeah, and we can see what votes was assigned to the each resource, like how many votes we have, how many agrees we have, how many abstains, how many logs we have, um, and in case the contested resource have different contenders which wants to pick up this, for example, sky.dash. Yeah, we can see this nice interface for it. Shows us like
Mm.
the progress. It's very nice. Yeah, and we can see when the voting should end, what's the status. In case it was locked, it will show you as locked, and it will show you all of the votes count that happened to this document. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
this is awesome. I'm very much looking forward to this. This is something that
Mhm.
we really need before we can onboard too many users, let alone developers.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, and the list where you can see all the votes, you can filter them by towards identity, abstain, locked, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I think there will be even one more page called master node votes, which will allow you to see the votes happening right now in the platform chain and filter them by some specific data contracts, by specific identities. Yeah, but we haven't designed it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's it for the Platform Explorer. Let me get to the Electrum. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So uh, um, not this one. Sorry. Um, yeah. So we have a couple of issues in the Electrum, and we actually received some feature requests from some of the investors. I think so. There was one guy who wanted to set up an Evernote, but he had like really poor internet connection. He couldn't he didn't want to synchronize the dashcore, but it seems like there is no way to register an Evernote unless you are using the dashcar, because we have dash master node, oh sorry, dash in DMT, yeah, that dash master node tool, but it only works with the hardware wallets. So yeah, that was kind of fast, and we looked through the current issues, so we decided to get into it. There is actually it's actually the implementation of the master nodes is not quite working right now in the Electrum. Like, it's not working all the way. We checked what's going on. There was really a lot of research, because the Electrum wallet was returning us a error when we tried to register with existing collateral. So it seems there was some problem with the messaging, um, like the signing of the transactions. We fixed that. So we looked into another issue, which I was thinking that is related, but it turned out it's not related, and yeah, it also does not work, because I don't know what's happened. Maybe it wasn't working at all. I don't know. So yeah, the update service is broken, and we wanted to go through it and fix everything. Actually, we will fix all of the deep free features like registering master nodes and updating the services to let users keep master nodes in the Electrum wallet. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I see a BIP3. That should be DIP3, right?
yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
yeah, and another thing that could be very interesting for the Electrum is maybe it's worth trying to implement platform identities straight into Electrum wallet, because later we would like to have a feature from the web browser to sign off the transactions into external wallets, not in the browser itself. So you don't load the private keys straight into the browser or browser extension.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah. So if we would like to sign the platform transactions from the Electrum, so we would need to implement platform identities, which is also sticked to the seed phrase, which is just in different storage index. So it's basically, I think it would be very useful for the next, for the platform network. So you could use the Electrum for signing your platform transactions in the browser. Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. Unfortunately, our last proposal didn't pass. It shorted like not really a lot of votes. So it seems like the network still, I think, supports this project. It just didn't have enough space in the last cycle, in the last proposal.
Yeah, I did want to talk about that, so I might as well talk about it now while it's on subject. I'll go ahead and share my screen for a little bit. Okay, so this is the state of the funding and the voting, the main treasury voting at the time that it closed. So you can see this is mnowatch.org /leaderboard / a specific date. And you can see 7.9 minutes remaining. That was the last snapshot before at the voting deadline. And as you can see here, this these check marks that shows what was both had the required votes and the required funding budget available. And your Electrum proposal was just shy of the passing criteria at the time, as well as AJ's SDK platform ID Explorer proposal. But what's interesting is just before some of these proposals expired, they actually came within funding or within passing criteria. So your Electrum proposal is currently passing by voting criteria as well as funding, but not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's expired. So this wilted flower means that even though it's got the amount of votes that it needs, it's got the funding that it needs, it doesn't have. It's an expired proposal. So that happens now with your proposal as well as well, this one's passing still, and that one's still active. But AJ's web SDK also is in passing criteria, or at least was before it expired just recently. So I kind of have to figure out how to interpret this as well. And obviously the easiest way is to put in another proposal for next month. But with you and with me, we both have organizations that kind of have general funding available, or at least you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. The ideal is to have proposals that have funding specifically for a specific project. But in the case of the incubator, I have some funds that are available for any kind of general case use. So I need to figure out what to do. But what are you going to do with this funding for the Electrum project?
Yeah. Yeah, we will continue working. We will fix the current deep-free implementation, which is master nodes, just master nodes without EVA nodes. But regarding the EVA nodes or potential platform identities into Electrum, I think it will require the separate proposal.
Mhm.
So we just need more funds on the
So you're
project.
going to continue to do bug. Would it be safe to say you're going to continue to do bug fixes regardless of what happens?
Mhm.
New
Yeah,
feature
yeah, yeah.
requests.
That's
You'll
what
need.
I'm.
Okay. New
Exactly.
features will require a funded proposal,
Mhm.
which you may or may not submit this coming cycle.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else to say about Electrum, or do you want to move on to pshenmic.dev website?
Not much. Only one thing. I checked the traffic on the Electrum Dash website, and it shows pretty much amount of traffic. So like 1,000 requests each day or stuff like that. So I think it's pretty much active. So people are visiting the website. You can see that there is some traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go
So.
ahead and I want to show that real quick because I have something else to say about that. Let's see. Let's go back to my screen, and we have we went over these. This is the dash-electrum.org. This is the site that you maintain.
Mhm.
And you have a little call out here that says there's a fake Electrum Dash website with unknown binaries. This wrong. Make sure that you're on one of the correct websites and URL matches one of these legit domains. So these are the three. These three domains are all controlled by you. These are all good domains. Electrum-dash.com, -electrum.com, and -electrum.org. So you have these two, both the com and the org, but there's one that's electrum-dash.org, electrum-dash.org, not dash-electrum.org, which is the one that we're on right now. That is a scam. And they were referring back to a code base from the Incubator code base on GitHub. We've since archived that site, so everybody just know that these are the three legit domains, and anything else could be a scam. I just wanted to call that out because that's something that happened since our last update.
Yeah, I forgot
Want to say
about
anything
that.
else about
Yeah.
that?
Well, yeah, it's kind of upset that such thing happens, but yeah, we have some kind of people who cloning Electrum Dash, so just be aware. But it's actually very noticeable if
Okay.
the wrong.
So, but the
request.
site that you were talking about that's getting like 1,000 hits.
Yeah,
that,
yeah. This website,
that's this site
have
right
like
here.
1,000 requests. Yeah, each day.
What was that, per day or month or what?
Per day.
Okay, 1,000 requests per day. That seems like people are still looking into this. It's good that they're going to the right website for those.
1,000 requests. It's the number from the Vercel. I don't know what it means, but I think it's request for all of the resources.
Yeah, and some of those could be just bots and
Just
whatnot.
images, like yeah.
Okay, and then you've got this pshenmic.dev website.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about this? Because one of the features I'm following your GitHub activity, and I've seen a feature where you're doing logging in with seed phrases, or what exactly? How are you going to do your authentication? Tell us about this website in general, and give us some background, and then what features you're working on.
Yeah. So, can you turn up my share screen?
Yes.
I will show you some updates. So, the DFO website, the pshenmic.dev, is a project that should show all of the current capabilities of the Dash platform in the web. So, what we are going to do is we are going to put every data that being showed on our website. In the chain, we will have some kind of flow for paying out the developer. It will work through NFTs, features on the Dash platform. So it should show everything what should be possible in the platform chain. Yeah, the first thing that that we done is the basically an authentication through the Dash seed phrase. Let me just get quickly the seed phrase that was used in the development. Yeah, this is it.
So people could be putting their attention to the bottom left corner, import to your dashboard.
Yeah. So if we compare the production website, so there is no box like that.
Yep.
This is a new feature, so you can see it on every page. And when you click on that, you will see some kind of window which allows you to use your seed phrase or private key to authenticate on the website. So we will put our seed phrase, and we are starting loading the transactions that was like the current balance, your information about your identities, and stuff like that.
Okay, so always goes without saying, but I always want to say it anyway. That was the seed phrase that you don't really care about. Nobody should be displaying seed phrases. But what do you say in general to people who say you should never enter a seed phrase to any website?
I will say that this project will be in the testnet for quite time until Dash SDK will receive production ready, until Dash SDK will be production ready for the mainnet. So all of the data that we are going to put here will be in the testnet for a while until we get proofs in the SDK. So yeah.
So is this intended to be then a feature that is permanent, or are you saying that this will eventually entering seed phrases or private keys into the website?
No, I think later it will work through the extension, which will be able to connect with your mobile wallet or connect with the Electrum, just like Wallet Connect, you know. So it's also a thing that I'm researching.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we had an error during the scene, and it happens in production bundle. It works locally. I just remember about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
The
let me
fun
let me
times.
check it. Let me check. Yeah, I don't know. There's some error in the bundle which I don't know what is happening. One second. Just wanted to show you.
Sure. So what you're talking about is you've got this website working locally, but when you build the site for a production deployment that you're hosting on this Vercel.app site,
Yeah,
that's when things
yeah.
don't always
There are
work the
some.
same.
Yeah. So it doesn't work for the reason, I don't know, something in the WASM, so some parameter gets passed incorrectly or stuff like that. But it only happens on the Vercel. I don't know why. So we decided to just go ahead for now, but we will fix it.
Okay. So now we're looking at localhost. This is your development server that we're looking at now, but same application.
Yeah. So
I'm
the
curious,
way
what taking so long for the loading?
So unfortunately, Dash SDK is an SPV wallet, so it has to load everything from the network. It should search every block for transactions that happen on your wallet. So it happens through the DAPI endpoints. Yeah, it's pretty much takes time, and it's not very efficient, but it is what it is right now.
Yeah.
What
So you
I-
are using the JS SDK
Mhm,
right now. That's beta, alpha,
mhm.
whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, yeah,
And it uses an SPV wallet for syncing.
yeah. Something is happening. Is not happening.
Yeah,
So
we've
yeah.
talked about
Anyway,
this before. The SDK is a big issue right now, and
hmm
we're not sure exactly how that's going to be resolved. But as far as we
no,
know, DCG is aware of the issues, and they are redesigning a JavaScript SDK right now. Like I talked about
okay.
earlier, I may go ahead and have AJ do some of the scope of work that he was planning on doing with his proposal, and funding that through my budget, while also having a proposal for his own proposal. I would like that to be network approved. So we'll see what's going to happen there, but I will probably update people. And while you're still working with this, I'll just also say that next year, starting in next week, or potentially the week after, I'm going to try to. I'm probably going to be moving Incubator Weekly. We're doing it on Friday right now, just because of the holidays, but I'll probably be moving it to Wednesday at 17 o'clock UTC, so 5 o'clock UTC PM. I think that might be a better time for doing that in the future, just as an announcement there. Okay, so
So I
did
think it
you?
worked. I think it worked. Let's wait. Wait a
Okay,
couple
yeah,
of
we're up to
seconds.
97% now. That's
Yeah,
better than 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever it was.
and it's going. um, yeah, it currently loads the transactions and the block headers as well. But I can make a modification in just SDK wallet, which will disable the block headers retrieving, which takes really a lot of time, much more than the transactions, and it should be better. But anyway, we have some kind of checkpoints uh, that we have to set, like from which point will the sync will be happening. Um,
Okay, so
yeah.
we got it. You got logged in.
hmm
That's the bottom line here. So some things to work out, but tell us now what people would do after they're logged in.
So
And what
yeah.
people are going to be logging into this. Like, give us a little high level overview of what's
hmm
going on here.
hmm
Who's this site for?
So right now I'm logged in as an admin. So I will be able to make a new project or make a new tasks or review the claims on the projects. Uh, the regular user will be able to comment the projects, the tasks. They will be able to make some kind of upvoting, like make some pluses and minuses. um, Let me show you. I think there's some designs, comments, upvoting. Yeah. So, for example, we will have the projects. For example, Electron Dash. We will see a list of tasks assigned for somebody. We can see the replies. You will be able to make a comment. So to do that, you will need to authenticate with your Dash wallet to do that.
Okay. Yeah, and just in case people didn't really catch the context here, this is essentially you're going to be doing on platform what we've been doing in the incubator on Trello.
Yeah, something similar. The concepts are similar. I just took some ideas, like on some recurrent projects, stuff like
Mhm.
that. So yeah, I got a lot of ideas from the way Incubator works with Trello.
Yeah, and this is great because this was kind of our hopes and plans for a long time, and I'm glad that you're doing it because you got a lot of experience with working with platform, obviously, and
hmm
when you get this working, I think that it would be great to have to be able to use this as a template for other organizations that may want to do something similar, including my own.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. Okay. And then, did you have anything to say about Wallet Connect as well, or?
I would like to say I would like to make some words about the SDK. So I mentioned that I will be able to cut out some inefficient part in the JS SDK. So it's actually one of the things that I'm working on is the JS dash SDK, and there are some things that's still missing. Like there are some document transitions are not implemented in the WASM DPP. So what I did is I finished the transfer document transition. Let me show you. So platform pull requests. Yeah, I just submitted it. Yeah. So previously it wasn't possible to make document transfers with the JS-SDK. And now we have first successful transactions in such transaction in the testnet. Yeah, we can see the document identifier who received this document. Yeah, there's still two transitions missing. I'm going to do them as soon as I finish the first one, the document transfer. I need to lay out all of. I need to receive code review, and
Okay, so yeah, this is work that you're doing on platform itself, on the SDK itself. So once you've got this code reviewed by DCG and merged in, it will be available for anybody using the Alpha JS SDK.
Hopefully in V1.8.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the most like I need to finish this one. So make changes to all of the pull requests, but the others will be much quicker. Like there is missing update price and the purchase document. I think that will be much quicker. And yeah, there is some other missing parts, like in the WASM itself, like in the WASM method getters for the front end. So while we are working on the transaction details, there are some fields that we need to get from the transactions. Where was it? Extra methods. Extra methods. I think even it renamed it. Yeah, it's like some informations about action types, fee information like user fee increase, signatures, public key IDs, preventing voting balance, some nonces information, and identity contract nonce. So yeah, there will be also the entropy that was used during creation of the document. That's some kind of random data. Yeah. So yeah, I still work on it. My plan is to finish with the bindings for document transitions that we will be able to use in our pshenmic.dev DFO website.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about Wallet Connect a little bit. So I'm still researching it. So the progress is still at the point that I was describing in my last proposal. So
which proposal was that under?
Sorry?
Which proposal? You said you described it.
I think it was in my DFO proposal, DFO reserve funding. Yeah. So
this one here.
Yeah.
I'll do a find for.
Yeah. So basically,
connect.
Yeah. Basically, Joel asked me to look into it, and the Wallet Connect itself, the Wallet Connect protocol itself, edits some changes in their specifications to allow UTXO chains to implement in Wallet Connect, but there is still missing SDKs, and there is still missing implementation in the wallets. So, so we picked up the wallet, the Edge wallet, which is open source that we can build ourselves, and Joel connected with the developers, and we're like in touch to make it as first implementation of UTXO chain will be, and it will be the Dash. So there is no support of any Bitcoins, Litecoins in the Wallet Connect. So as soon as we will finish the Dash in the Wallet Connect in the Edge wallet, yeah, it will be the first UTXO chain to appear in the Wallet Connect. Hopefully. Yeah, but we will do it anyway. It's kind of not in the first priorities, but we will do it anyway because we need that for our platform extension to work with our decentralized applications.
Okay.
Because we don't want to put private keys into a web browser environment. Yeah, stuff like that. I think that's it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the updates. There was a lot of good stuff there. And if anybody has any questions, throw them in right now. But I don't see any questions right now. Feel free to comment on the video. And with that, I think we'll say goodbye. We've been going for about an hour here. So thanks, Mikhail, for all you've done and are doing. And we will chat later.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. See ya.
Bye.